Hey guys, welcome back to my video. And today we are going to be talking about why I believe dating in this generation is a joke, especially when you're Gen Z. Now, every month, allegedly, we're in the breaking point where the whole world is going to collapse. The whole world is going to explode every single month. Every single month we hear something new because they're covering up the files allegedly. And like why would I have time to I need to sit down. Alright, let me talk to you guys. Why would I have time to find a man when at any moment the world is going to explode? Like, guys, just think about that for a second. I don't have time anymore. I don't think anybody has time anymore. And it's very unfortunate because humans are supposed to be together as a community. Community is what unites us and honestly makes this world a better place. Not only emotionally, but also physically making the world a better place. When we work together, we're able to produce more goods and provide more services for others quicker and more efficient because we have multiple hands doing the same thing. So the fact that I guess the system of the world today in the 21st century is trying to divide us spiritually, physically divide us too, like with immigration and breaking families apart, spiritually as in like demonic forces trying to attack everybody in diverse rates with diverse media. All of these are honestly connected in a way because the spiritual realm, if the spiritual realm is messed up, then obviously the physical realm that we're in right now is going to be messed up. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. Like, it's kind of upsetting, but that's just how the world works right now. I mean, it's always been working that way. But of course, if you guys are not spiritual, if you guys are not Christian, you guys won't understand these forces, like these demonic forces and angelic forces that are always fighting with each other every single day. And also another thing, especially when dating, at least for sadly my experience, I haven't dated anybody, but I've definitely talked to some guys. Especially when dating quote unquote Christian men, and when I say quote unquote, I mean hypocritical pieces of dog poo. They don't know how to actually practice what they preach, or they don't believe in practicing while they're preaching, like practicing while they preach, but they believe on preaching to other people. And that's very hypocritical, obviously, for many reasons. And I'm just gonna spill a little tea, a little tea. I'm not gonna say too much. But I talked to this one guy. He would post Bible verses almost every day on his story. And but in reality, he treated me like dog poo. When he realized, oh, I don't think this woman is the right woman for me. Instead of him physically telling me or texting me, that he wanted to end things, he just ghosted me and blocked me on all platforms. But he didn't block me on Instagram. So I texted on Instagram saying, hey, why did you block me on every platform but this one? And then that's when he told me. If he blocked me on Instagram, I would have never known why. He would, like, I would honestly be thinking that it was my fault. When in reality, he's just a bad communicator when it comes to conflict. And I think that's just what mostly this generation is. Like, I'm not trying to I guess I do not want to put a blanket over the whole generation, but I've just noticed that we're lacking communication, or we would share too much about ourselves to random people that would eventually backstab us in the future. That's why I'm using vague language and vague stories, obviously, so that you guys can relate, but also so that I don't get tracked. When it comes to conflict, oh my goodness, people do not know how to communicate. And whenever I try, okay, another example, keeping it vague, I would say communication was not there 100% of the time. And I'm trying to be respectful, but that was the case, that we were not talking 100% of the time. And I always have to bring something up in order for this person to then bring something up 3 months ago. So basically, some people would bottle up their emotions for so long. And the moment you bring something up like, hey, is everything okay? Or hey, I don't like the way you're doing this. And then immediately they think it's their moment to bring something up 5,000 years ago that you did. And I'm just like, if you had a problem with that, why didn't you tell me sooner? The thing is, I don't understand why people think, okay, you could read my mind. You could read my mind and sense that I don't like something. That's not always the case. Some people are really dense. Some people are busy with their lives and struggling to the point where they don't care, or not care, but they don't pay attention to little things that you signal. They physically need to hear you say, I don't like this, in order for them to actually understand you. So, little things like that, like a lack of communication, too much communication, and trauma over one stranger, like they're treating them like a therapist. That's really stressful for individuals who don't want to be put in that position. Like, obviously, comfort is important. Comfort is very important. Do that with your friends. Please do not do that with a stranger that you barely know. Sorry. Where am I going with this? So, the point I'm trying to make is, if you don't know how to communicate with people, how in the world are you going to communicate with said boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife? And like, it's so annoying how these people, I guess some people on social media is just like, I want to find love, I want to find love, and all that type of stuff. And I do too. I do too. But do you know how to talk to people? Do you know how to make friends? Like genuine friends? Do you know how to put in effort? Like, these same people are just like, oh, I'm so lonely, I want someone. They don't know how to put effort. And they're the one who's ruining the dating aspect. I don't like to call it dating market, but like, they're ruining what dating even is to 90% individuals. I'm not saying everybody in the world does not know how to speak to people, but after the pandemic, it's very apparent, like, people do not care. And I think they use the pandemic as an excuse for not reaching out and for not caring about other people, when that's who you are, you know? Some people just genuinely do not care about you, and they use the pandemic as an excuse to be like, oh, I barely talk to people. Or they use school as an excuse, like, I'm so busy with school. Girl, I am too. I'm multitasking, making videos. I have time to talk to people over the weekend. Like, you can't use that as an excuse anymore. Like, I'm tired of these excuses. You can't just say that you don't want to talk to me. Just say that you don't want to talk to him. Just say that you don't want to talk to her. Why are you ringing around the rosy, popping full of posies? This is some kind of game. This is not a game. This is reality. This is the world. We are humans. we have souls. For you to be wasting our time like that is really disrespectful.